What the heck is happening? This BP oil spill. There are so many other things that we can do about it that people aren't just looking at. They're putting a bunch of shit into the pipe that's spilling out all the oil. We already learned from history that this does not work. And if you really want to know how we learned that from history, well, there was a historical event that happened in the time before, which was, of course, an oil spill that happened in the Gulf of Mexico. And they tried the same exact damn techniques that they are using now. They tried covering it with a sombrero, which is now called a top hat, and they tried doing the junk shot earlier on by putting in a bunch of random objects into the oil spill thing, and it never worked. And now what they're trying to do to stop the oil spill from getting anywhere else is by pouring more toxic chemicals into the ocean, which indeed may be even more toxic to us than the oil spill itself. Now, I don't know what you think, but fighting fire with fire just doesn't work, especially in this circumstance. If you're going to already kill a bunch of people with oil or kill sea creatures and stuff from oil, and then you're gonna try to stop it with a bunch of other chemicals that would also kill sea creatures and people, then this is not going to help at all. There's a video that I watched, and it showed these hairdressers or whatever, and they came up with this thing where they get a bunch of hay or get a bunch of hair, something that will soak and absorb chemicals such as petroleum or crude oil as what is leaking, and they put it in there and they scooped it out, and voila, the water was completely rid of all the oil. Now the question I have here is, why aren't these people looking through historical events that may have happened earlier? I already knew that a oil spill happened in Alaska earlier on. I did not know about the circumstances, but there of course has to be an explanation for what to do in this type of situation, especially if you look in the past, because as many historians say, the past repeats itself, or the history repeats itself. There are a bunch of people on BP that do not use the right techniques for booming, which is a technique where you're supposed to put in orange, I'm not quite sure what to call them, but they're orange boundaries that they put in and above the ocean to stop the oil from going as far as it is. Well, of course, sometimes oil is going to come under, and especially now because they were drilling now even further than before, and of course it's going to go over. But the thing that we need to do with the rest of the things is we need to come up over a plane with a bunch of hay and whatever it may be. It will cost BP a lot less than pouring a bunch of toxic chemicals that's not going to do good for either of us, and it would save a bunch of money. And one more thing, the oil leakage that's still happening. It's already said that before they had one thing that worked, that helped stop the oil from pumping in the first place. And this thing is two relief wells that's supposed to be planted right next to the oil pumper thing, and this will help make it stop or something. I don't I don't know why these people won't think and why they won't get to it and get to their job, because they're not even making any money. Is Zeitgeist right? Are they doing this all to play us? Is that one song by The Perfect Circle right? Where we watch TV and all it does is entertain us and keep our thoughts away from what's actually going on in the world? I'm really starting to wonder. I'm not a really big person on conspiracy theories, but when it comes to this kind of shit happening and all this stuff that they could already have done, I'm starting to think that